So like Christian McCaffrey just got traded. That's wild. That was some weird news to wake up to, but that's the news that most of us woke up to or went to sleep to last night. Was Christian McCaffrey has been traded from the Carolina Panthers to the San Francisco 49ers. A wild turn of events. Now this has been rumored. For at least a couple weeks, ever since they fired Matt Rule, this has kind of been something that has been in the rumor mill, or at least on the menu. I thought it was far-fetched, to be honest, right? When I heard all these Christian McCaffrey rumors and how he was going to end up on the 49ers, it didn't make sense to me because they had already paid him, and he's a running back, and he's a young player still. But maybe they were thinking he's a running back and we already paid him. And that's why they wanted to get rid of him. And let's also be honest here. Let's remember when Christian McCaffrey was drafted, the ideal wasn't to make Christian McCaffrey the centerpiece of the Panthers offense for the future. The ideal was that this is a win now move to get a guy who could be a threat with Cam Newton in the backfield, to get the Panthers over the hump. It did not happen, right? The Cam era has long gone in Carolina. So Christian McCaffrey, let's be real, if we're really looking at this, his purpose had already been gone like 2 years ago. The reason he was drafted in the first place. No reason to really be there after the first couple of years he was on the team. Now he's traded. The Carolina Panthers are going to get a third, a second, and a fourth round pick in 2023 and a fifth in 2024 for Christian McCaffrey. Wow. Now, I've also seen this become a hot debate topic on whether or not the Carolina Panthers got enough for Christian McCaffrey or if they got fleeced or not. I think that it's clear to me, at least, that they got fair value. I think they got very good value for Christian McCaffrey, given that he's injury riddled. He's in the middle of his fifth year, and I have an opinion of Christian McCaffrey that he's a bit overrated. I think people kind of overvalue the stuff that he does as a pass catcher. I think a lot of his production is because he's been on bad offenses with maybe another playmaker on it, right? DJ Moore, definitely getting 1,000 yards, but like somebody has to get the production on an NFL team. And sometimes that ends up with guys getting more production than they should. Look at guys like Allen Robinson, right? Allen Robinson was production king in Jacksonville. But all of a sudden that production dropped off a cliff once teams started to rely on him more, or once he got on more talented teams, and now he's just another 600-yard wide receiver. Christian McCaffrey could very easily be that. Running backs, hey man, some of them last forever, like a Frank Gore or Adrian Peterson, and some of them gone like tomorrow, man. So Todd Gurley can't even make the NFL anymore after all of his injuries. That's all I'm saying. So this is a risky trade for the 49ers, who, let's be real here, the 49ers have made the most risky trades over the last 2 years, and the one trade that they made, the big risky one, did not work out for them, right? Or has not worked out so far. The Trey Lance trade is obviously what I'm referring to. 3 first-round picks and a mid-round, like a fifth or fourth-round pick for Trey Lance. Trey Lance has played, 6 games? Flat miss. Now, they're betting the farm. They're not going to have a first-round pick this year. They're not going to have a second-round pick this year. They're not going to have a third-round pick this year. Unless they got somebody else's third-round or second-round picks, they aren't picking in they're not taking their first, second, and third-round pick originally slotted for them. And they're doing this with Jimmy Garoppolo as their quarterback. I don't know, man. This sounds like one of those things when you first read it on the headline, you go, oh my God, what's anybody going to do about the San Francisco 49ers, man? They're going to be able to run the ball with Debo, and then they're going to be able to run the ball with Christian McCaffrey, and then you start to realize the problem. Because once you stop talking about how Christian's going to run the ball, once you stop talking about how Debo's going to run the ball, and start having to talk about how Christian has to receive the ball and Debo has to receive the ball, the big elephant in the room is revealed, and his name is Jimmy. You see what I mean here? We've seen Jimmy Garoppolo in the Super Bowl. He threw an interception with his eyes closed. Jimmy Garoppolo. Mr. Fold'em in the big mo. This is who they're going super omega all in for. If it was Trey Lance and he was on a run, I would get it, man. Because that first trade's working out. Who cares? You got a franchise quarterback. But Jimmy doing this with, I just find this. Hey, if it works, it works, right? The NFC is wide open. Let's not even look. There are also other reasons I think the 49ers should be massively concerned too, because like a number of their marquee players, like a shocking amount of their marquee players on the 49ers have bad injury history, right? I could just name three off the top. Jimmy Garoppolo misses a ton of seasons. Nick Bosa has missed the season before with injury, and then Mr. Christian McCaffrey. Like there are a lot of like injury riddled players on this roster in that organization now that they're kind of relying on. And again, this is an all-in bet for you. You're not going to have a pick till day 3 that belongs to you originally. I don't know, man. The more I think about this trade, my initial thought was, man, they run the ball so much down there in San Francisco. Christian McCaffrey going to kill it. But then I start thinking, like, Christian not really somebody you want to take 20 carries. He's not built like that. His injury history is not something that would suggest he can take up that kind of a workload. So would you trade him for somebody who you going to get 15 carries a game to? Like, even if he's like getting 5 yards a carry, that's not that much production at the end of the day. So I just don't get it. Yeah, so I just, again, from the San Francisco side of this, I kind of understand why you make the move. You know you have a deficiency at quarterback, so you want to make up for that deficiency. How do you plan to do it? Let's just make it idiot-proof, right? Let's get the best running back we can afford. Let's go all in on this. But I just think that's a foolish mistake to make. We have seen how hard it is to win a Super Bowl with a quarterback like Jimmy Garoppolo. We have seen it's possible. It's been done. There's been worse guys. I know everybody's gonna come in. Well, Trent Dilfer did it, Quincy, and I get it. But the 49ers are not the level of defense that Ravens team was. This is a 49ers team that lost to the Falcons last week. This is not some team that's 5-0 and just needs something to get over the hump. This is not a team that's like 4-1. I believe they're 3-3. I don't get this. Again, NFC's wide open. Anything can happen. But when the dude that you originally wanted to trade because you were so tired of him that you were willing to trade 3 first-round picks to draft a dude who played at North Dakota State to be your quarterback of the future. When that dude's still back there, the guy that drove you to that is still the quarterback, why would you make an all-in move at all? Maybe there's pressure. Maybe there's pressure for San Francisco coming from the front office about having to repeat the NFC champion. I don't get it. They should have the leeway to be able to like stink for this year, like, and people understand. But anyways, let's talk about the Carolina side of this. I've seen, look, this happens when you're the Carolina Panthers and you're the locale or whatever they want to call it of the NFL. People are just going to like clown you no matter what you do, right? When you're one of those teams that people have deemed hilarious. Panthers did a good job here. I think they sold on a player at the right time. I think they got the most out of Christian McCaffrey they were ever able to get out of Christian McCaffrey. And I think they came out ahead on this. And I think they will end up coming out ahead. I think they will end up, this might be a rare take or a shocking take, but I think the Panthers are going to end up better off than the 49ers at the end of the day with these picks. I think they'll be better off making this trade. I think they're going to look back at this trade as a good thing. Could be massively wrong on that, but I think they're going to look back at this trade as a good thing. Let's face it, their season's over. They're debating whether to start Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, or PJ Walker. So they're in hell right now, right? Like, I think Panther fans would agree with me. They're in hell right now. The season's done. So why not? Why keep Christian McCaffrey? Like, if this next rebuild, they don't have a quarterback on that roster yet. So let's say they get a quarterback next year. Best case scenario, they're ready in 2 or 3 years. By that time, Christian McCaffrey might be old and out the league. Like, running backs get out of the league fast. Or maybe he's not old and out the league, but maybe he's just not himself anymore. I get why they did this. And that's if they get lucky and the quarterback that they draft works out and he's one of those guys who's ready to go by his second year. They might get somebody who takes like 3 years to develop or something like that. So, yeah, I get why Carolina did this. This makes 100% sense for Carolina. It makes more sense for Carolina to do than for anybody else. And my next question is, hey, man, who's next? Who's on this list of names that doesn't make sense to be on this team if they have no plans on being good until, 2024, 2025, 2024, somewhere around that range? Who does not make sense to be on this team? Is it Brian Burns? Is it D. Brown? Who's next? Matt Ioannidis? Like, who's next? That's what I want to know. But that's my thoughts on this whole trade. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. Y'all have a great day. Have a good night.